Hello, I go by SRez, and in today's video we're going to take a look at abilities. Not rival abilities, not legendary card abilities, we're talking about just common, rare, and epic card abilities. These are the abilities that you need to play through the ladder to unlock and add to your card pool so that you can get these cards from booster packs, from dungeons, and from daily rewards. So I have a few decks prepared to showcase some of these abilities, and hopefully that'll help them make a little bit more sense. The first ability that you get from the ladder rewards is something called Home Field. And I would explain it, but honestly the text on a lot of these does a great job of explaining it. So it applies a +1 to all neighboring water and non-elemental tiles and -1 to open tiles of other elements. So what that means is if I play it here, the +1s are going to become neutral, nothing. That +3 will become a +2, and the card, of course, because I played it not on a matching square, will still get the -3. So the opponent actually played one of the abilities I was going to talk about later, Power Up. We will get to that when I play it. Now we just want to take a card. Let's go ahead and play a Defender. That's right. Defender gives +1 to every creature on the board you control. And it does this check after flips. Oh, it seems... No, that's not the card I wanted to grab. It seems my emulator slowed down. I mentioned it in a previous video. The emulated version of the game does run into that issue sometimes, where the game will slow down significantly, but it's okay, all you have to do is restart the game. It loads up pretty quick, and with the save states in place, it maybe costs you like 30 seconds. And again, that's just in the emulated game. I personally haven't experienced that issue ever on my phone. Right back in here on my turn. We're going to go ahead and play Defender. I mean, this isn't typically the ideal situation to play it in, but that's just so you can see how it works. What happens, there's much better ways to play it, but the next ability I want to talk about is Upper Hand. Gains +1 for each water creature in your hand for 1 turn only. So that, of course, whenever it says water creature with things like ally, water creature, or upper hand, that's because these cards are water cards. If they were fire cards, they would say fire creature. So what this is going to do is when I play this card, I will have 4 water creatures left in my hand. So I will actually, this card will get a +4 on all sides for 1 turn. So where it's actually a pretty weak card, it will still be able to capture both of these. And then it loses the buff because that's a 4/1 turn. So the opponent just played an ally card, but it wasn't able to make use of it. Whereas in this scenario, I can make use of the ally card. Now, unfortunately, this ally card won't be strong enough to take the card below it. But what ally does is it lets you trigger a neighboring matching element card that you control, and it will attempt to recapture cards. I kind of glossed over that ability. If played next to a water creature you control, that creature will try and recapture any creatures next to it. Now this is a really good example of how strong it can be, because this card meets the criteria and is strong enough to capture creatures on both its left and right. And then this card is going to again capture to its right. So the next card we're going to take a look at is Power Up. This card gets +1 for each neighboring water type creature and tile. So tile being this, it will actually get the +1 for this, +1 for this, +1 for this. So placing it here will grant a net total of +3. If you were to place this on top of an elemental tile, the elemental tile that it's placed on top of doesn't interact with its Power Up effect, but it does still contribute to the creature. And then we'll just play Arcane. The rival, which gets to use Puddle Port, leaving us with a really strong set of cards. Yeah, that's a good victory. That's a brief rundown of all those abilities. The one ability that we didn't cover in that battle was Avatar. So Avatar I'm going to show you very quickly with a Maple deck that I put together. Avatar is a very different kind of deck. Avatar, it works when you have all of the other elements already on the board. So in this deck, I know that might sound weird, confusing, but in this deck I have one and only one air card, and that is the Avatar card. Because essentially to trigger this, what I want is I want to have a Fire, Water, and Earth card already down on the field, and Avatar will also sort of light up when you meet these criteria. It's an interesting choice, not one I would really recommend. So I have to take that water card in order for Avatar to work. So if I can keep a Fire Elemental card, then Avatar will be online. So you see that's now flashing. You'll probably take this one, but we can go ahead and lock it in with that. Maple's a good choice for an Avatar deck because you can use Maple's Spreading Roots ability to make a chain and capture some of these cards, capture the necessary elements to trigger Avatar. We'll go ahead and play it here because we couldn't otherwise take this card. Avatar, when played and active, will get +4 to all sides. It's quite a considerable buff, makes a very strong card, especially if you pair it with an elemental bonus from a tile. And then we can go ahead and finish the game off with Maple. That's a really brief rundown. I know it's a very brief, concentrated rundown of these abilities. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. They'll make a lot more sense as you play with them. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or reach out to me on Discord. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video.